Well, it's another warmest of welcome backs, and thanks to all my subscribers and browsers for your continuing support of my classic dirt bike TV channel. Now in this next featured video we're going to take a very short break from looking at two-wheeled vintage racers to feast our eyes on some three-wheelers, or more specifically, classic motocross sidecars. Now these particular examples were some of the outfits I captured at the Bennett's Hill racetrack in Reading in the UK on the 6th of September 2015. Now our first three-wheeler specimen is Paul and Kieran Giles's 750 Yamaha Wasp from 1981. Now the most common thing relating to all of these three-wheeled chariots is they're all fitted with Rind-Tut Wasp chassis. Now Wasp was actually founded by engineer and off-road racer Robin Rind-Tut, who was actually employed initially by the Ministry of Defence as an engineer at Boscombe Down, and in his spare time Robin built many of these off-road frames for solo motocross and sidecar racing. Now Robin was so successful at building these specialist frames that demand was huge, and so that is when he decided to form Wasp Motorcycles Limited. And actually one of Robin Rind-Tut's Sidecar outfit frames was used in the 1979 war movie Escape to Athena, where it was then disguised as a German military BMW R75 and was actually ridden by none other than Dave Bickers. Now many of these modern day outfits use Westlake or Norton motors, or as in this case the most popular engine, the Yamaha Twin, which can be anything from really a 650cc right up to a brute of a 1000cc lump. Disc brakes, of course, as drum brakes would be pretty much ineffective trying to stop the all-up weight of this outfit, plus of course the inertia of a rider and his passenger. But for me, the guys who race these things on the track are in a different league from your run-of-the-mill off-road racers, as both the driver and his passenger are equally important to getting the best from these unique machines, as the passenger has to counterbalance almost every single move that the driver makes if they want to get around the track in a hurry. Now our next featured racing trike is another Yamaha powered outfit, although on the day this particular bike was not listed in the race program, so I couldn't actually identify the racing team or details of the outfit. But the names Jamie Nelson, Tess Collier and Madison Harvey are listed on this racing number plate, so we'll assume that they are all part of the Bob Collier racing team. Now once again another Yamaha 4-stroke twin powering this particular outfit, although for me personally I do remember the sidecar racing in Scotland many years ago when almost all of these kind of machines were fitted with those big Norton 850 twins, which had much the same motor that was fitted into the 1970s road going Norton Commando. Although it appears that these Yamaha engines are the power plants to have on these racing sidecars in this modern day. But we'll all have the chance to see this unit and many of the others in this video strutting their stuff on the racetrack later in this video clip, so don't miss it if you want to see what it's like just to be a passenger in one of these chariots. Now this outfit has a nice bit of protection for your hands with this handlebar fairing, just to help stop your knuckles and any other parts on top of your body being roosted by stones and other debris. Now disc brakes once again, which was one of the things I did notice on all of these outfits when I captured them on the day, that none of them were using the old drum brake system. And to tell you the truth, if I was on top of one of these brutes, I would want disc brakes as well. But another nice example of one of these off-road three-wheeled outfits. Next up, it's the turn of Paul Pelling and Colin Dunkley's Wasp 1000 from 1983. Now this is another nice looking sidecar motocross outfit, or Sidecarcross as it's often known around the UK. Now this particular three-wheeler is another Rin-Tut Wasp chassis, although this racer is powered by a Yamaha V-twin motor. But you can only imagine what this bike sounds like when that big 4-stroke V-twin motor gets fired up, although a sidecar cross is not my particular field of endeavour. I'm not really sure which model of Yamaha this power plant is from. Now you may have already noticed that these units all have their passengers compartment on the left hand side of the chassis, which is the standard for UK racing, although European chariots all have theirs on the right hand side. Now a very heavy duty steering damper fitted to this particular trike to try and keep that front wheel tracking straight and to cut down on the head shaking from the front end that these machines often produce. A pair of white power piggyback shocks as the front suspension, of course, rather than your conventional forks that you would find on a solo motocrosser. Although, as I mentioned earlier, you will be able to see this machine and many more like it in action later in this video. Now our next creation is Chris Batt and Richard Brinston's Yamaha Wasp 600 from 1983, and this is one of the smaller powered chairs in this particular collection. Now because this bike has a smaller motor, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's slower, because it's all about balancing these things. If you have a good driver and the passenger can shift his weight around the chair quick enough to counteract all the twists and turns that the driver makes in a race situation, then horsepower is not really everything when it comes to being quick on one of these outfits. Now once again, another outfit fitted with this very efficient disc brake on the rear. Now for me personally, I'm not really sure if all of these Wasp fuel tanks are alloy, plastic, or even made of fiberglass. I just don't know, but they seem to be a standard shape and size over all of these Wasp chassis. But this particular machine has a slightly more modern looking wavy disc on this outfit, and again your standard twin shocks on the front end as the unit's suspension system. But you have to say that these are all well turned out racers, and naturally there's much more maintenance and repair work associated with these outfits to keep them in tip-top racing condition. Okay, our next unit is Richard Cole and Mickey Phillips' Westlake Wasp 950 from 1984, and this is another Wasp chassis with a Westlake motor this time. Now Westlake was founded by the legendary Harry Westlake, who was actually a cylinder head specialist who was instrumental in the development of many of Britain's most famous motor cars, including the SS Swallow Sidecars, which of course later became known as Jaguar. He also designed the cylinder head that was used in the overhead valve motor that powered the Austin A-Series engine and the iconic Morris 1000 and many motor cars. Although what many people don't know is that Harry Westlake was also involved in the development of the mighty Rolls-Royce Merlin engine that powered the legendary Spitfire. So this particular outfit is somewhat different from the others because it carries that iconic Westlake power plant. But another superbly engineered piece of kit, and we're looking forward to the guys putting this outfit through its paces just shortly. Okay, next up is our final look at these unique machines, and this is Paul Boscher and Andy Salt's lovely 650 Yamaha Wasp from 1983. Another very nice looking outfit, and once again powered by that hugely popular Yamaha 650 twin motor. Now, as you would expect, many of these Yamaha twins are not just stock motors when they're fitted into these Rin-Tut Wasp chassis, as almost all of them have had some tuning or upgrading done to their engine's internals. But these 4-stroke Yamaha power plants are well suited to powering these kind of racing chariots, and that's testament to the amount of riders that use them and their popularity around the Sidecarcross racing paddocks. Now, naturally you need a decent sized fuel cell to feed these machines with their gas, as I can imagine that these Yamaha motors would be very thirsty in a racing situation. And once again, a nice pair of twin shocks at the front, complete with their protective socks. Although I can imagine that these handguards are a must on a machine such as this, because you're bound to get roosted significantly if you're chasing another one of these outfits. Now, as I mentioned previously, it's quite rare to find one of these Sidecarcross outfits with older drum brakes these days, as these hydraulic disc systems are more powerful and easier maintained. But when you look at the engineering that goes into building these Sidecarcross rigs, you can see that they are built of very strong stuff. And let's face it, they would have to be, because it's not only the driver and passenger who have to be tough as nails. The chariot's chassis also has to be made of stern stuff if it's going to survive the pounding served up on race day. Okay, we've had a quick look around a few of the racing rigs from this Bennett's Hill race weekend, so as promised, let's take a look at them all in action on the racetrack.
That looked very, very close between the Felix and the Rangers then. Ben Blind, Pete Thomas is outfit. Climbing over their tail into that first corner, but they got through. just pulled out a little bit along that straight. Whether that main vent tower is that superior. Rangers closing up again. And right, absolutely right on that corner. Right, having Rangers. On that last lap. So this is going to be a race very short. Nice. All motor and it's top class sidecar races that originated out of the southern, South Midland, centre, and into the woods. But then pull it back, and just come back towards it. Look at this. And actually a bit quicker into this corner. Now getting some encouragement from Ben Floyd there. Right, that's the leading pair of the Richard Gold, Chris Bass, lead go. The points situation. Sounding good, so that looks to be absolutely raging as they went through last time. Still 5 laps now. So they're going to get another 2 laps in the lead. That's Connor. Turned in a fast lap again last time. Oh no, best lap 217, I beg your pardon. Last lap 222.
This video was brought to you in association with WealthSport, the world's #1 supplier for all your off-road, sports and leisure wear. Just visit their online website at wealthsport.com for more details.